A very good morning to all the viewers of D-Talks, that is Disruptive Literacy Talks. And this is Tanmay Prakash, the host of your session. The purpose of D-Talks is to explore disruptive solutions. The purpose behind the D-Talks is to explore the disruptive solutions that can help in achieving universal foundational literacy and numeracy, as committed in the Sustainable Development Goal 4 and India's National Education Policy. Today's talk will be based upon girls' education. And with this, I would like to introduce you with the speaker of the session, Ms. Niharika Baksla, Child Development Officer at Yuva India, Jharkhand. And we are going to discuss upon the topic, the role of sports and life skills in education of the girls. Yuva, which means youth in English, works specifically with girls from impoverished families in rural Jharkhand, a place where girls are at risk of child marriage and human trafficking. It is a program that uses team sports and education to build character, confidence, and courage. Niharika, also known as Neha, hails from Jharkhand and completed a master's degree in application from Birla Institute of Technology before deciding to work with kids instead of computers. She builds and maintains positive and meaningful relationships with players, coaches, parents, and community leaders. She conducts weekly life skills workshops with girls, teams, coaches, and youth leaders. She is always switched on with a big smile and keen interest in any issues that girls can throw at her. So, welcome Niharika ji, welcome to Detox.
Thank you so much, Tanmay. Really thanks, D-Talk, to invite me for this event. Um, Sports is the topic we discuss a lot nowadays, but life skills is somewhere still not that popular. So I'm really glad that this has been brought up and it's being interrelated with education, which is really great. So the topic today I'm going to speak is the impact of sports and life skills in educating a girl child. Um, it's definitely a beautiful combination, I will say, because we all know the benefits of sports, but life skills give you the environment where you can be ready to face the real world. And in life skills, it depends on which age group you are working on. So the topics, the things that you discuss with on life skills, that also depends on their understanding capacities. But once we combine it with sports and look forward to it on how this is helping in education, it has great impact in so many ways. And I'm going to discuss few which we have learned in our program, and I will give you few hands-on examples on how we have seen it happening, because we are using both sports and life skills, and then we are seeing girls getting educated in your school and where they are reaching right now. So definitely sports give you a physical fitness, which leads you to mental stability, because mental health is a big problem right now, and not everyone can afford going to the psychiatrist, going to see the doctors. But yeah, for kids, especially with girls who are doing a lot back home, they get this space where they play with their friends, where they play in a team. This gives them a space to stress out themselves. This gives them a space where they can discuss freely. They can discuss things without being judged with their friends. Their social life increases, because back home they are not supposed to talk much, they are not supposed to make friends much, they are not supposed to go out. But once they are in sports, they break all these barriers, and they come and they join and they make friends, they discuss, they talk. This is a very important thing, because once they make friends, they share their issues. And we have seen that in teams, when they share their issues, it's not then get one person's or one player's issue, it becomes an issue for everyone, and then they try to work it out, because back in head they all know that not today but someday I'll have to face the same issue. So let's figure it out. And I'll give you one example. What has happened that one girl stopped coming for the practices, and team ignored it for 2 days. And then third day, when they were asked, where is this girl, why she is not coming, they went back to her home and checked with her. And her family said that she cannot go to play anymore because she has so many work back in their field to do, and if she will go, one helping hand will get lost. And their practices usually goes for, like, I will say the total time will be 2 or 2.5 hours. So what their team decided that they started going to their house, helping her with whatever work she is supposed to do, and bringing her back to the team. And that's how she got that she stayed back in the program. She didn't dropped out. So I see a great potential in sports, um, especially with team efforts, which help them to be in program, learn new things, and being part of a team itself is one thing that teaches them how they can be a good leaders. Because once you are in a sports team, there are so many things that you cannot do alone. You need a support. You need to be generous to each other. You need to be caring with each other. You cannot think of just yourself. So they learn so many things automatically when they are in sports. And then back home, when they face the real life, they apply those things, which make their lives easier. And the same girl who was about to get dropout from sports was also about to get dropout from the school. So this dropout stopped, and it's such a big thing because we see a lot of programs are being run for girls where we are working on dropout datas. But in real life, we can see that how easily just team sports have helped a girl to get dropout from the school, from the sports program, which is definitely going to help her in future to get good education, make career choices. This was the one thing. The other thing which sports give you is discipline. Definitely, once you are in sports, you have to be disciplined because you have to be on time, because it's a sports where you are being coached by someone. It's a sports where other people are waiting for you. You cannot be late. You cannot be as moody as you want. You have to think about team. You have to be on time. So this is like also helping you to get ready for the upcoming life, the upcoming challenges which one child will see when they will grow up, once they will go to universities, when they will get out of universities. We Indians especially are very famous for being on not being on time. But yes, if you are in sports, this cannot ever be an excuse for you. You will have to be on time, and this is really important and impressive. In my concern, in my advice, it's always like be on time, and this is what sports is teaching them. So when we started our program first, it was us waiting for them to come for like maybe sometime it's like more than an hour we are waiting for the kids to come. But because once they started getting involved, they started getting disciplined, and instead of us waiting for them, later it turned into them waiting for us. And this didn't change because we lectured them a lot or we gave them so many handouts. It's just happened because we even if there were two kids in the field, we were supposed to we started the practices, we started the conversation. So later on, they all started getting used to of it that if they are getting late, they are missing out on important things. So they learned how to be on time, and this is one of the most important lessons they're learning through sports. And because they are coming as a team in sports, you are especially, we are organizing this team sport football. They get life skills workshop through it once a week. Like every team gets a workshop, and these workshops, life skills workshops, are designed for same for everyone, but the content is based on the age group and the understanding level. So it's the collaboration of sports and life skills has great opportunity for young kids, for youth, to explore and to be ready for the world, the challenges they are going to face in real life. The other very impressive example of how sports have changed the complete thought process of girls is when they got started travel. As they were in sports, they are getting invited to play in different states, different districts, different countries. And while traveling, they used to see so many different things. And before that, I would like to mention that the community we are working in, there are many parents, many girls, many boys who have never been out of the village. And girls who are in sports are traveling all across the globe. So see the benefit, like just because you are in sports, you are able to travel thousands of miles away, you are able to go out of your village with your friends, you are able to have fun with your friends, you are able to achieve something, you are learning something, you are seeing the new world. In my workshops, initially when I started talking about their career options, what they want to do, it was very limited. The answers which I was getting from them was either they want to become a teacher, either they want to become a nurse, or they want to become a beautician or tailor. I was getting such answers, and I took it as an answer because everyone has their own career choices. But among 21 girls, it was just these few choices that they were talking about. So it was a bit concerning. But I wanted to give it a time and see, maybe we will introduce it to them later, that what are the career options they can opt. Before that, what happened that they got invited to play for a tournament in Spain, and they traveled, they've been on plane, they saw attendant, they saw many officers, they saw female videographers, photographers, journalists, so many different jobs which females were doing, they saw. And it was the first time they saw it. And when they came back, and when we get back into our life skills workshop, that was the first thing they wanted to discuss, that how they have seen female being a pilot, how they have seen female doing videography, how they have seen so many female journalists, so many female coaches and officers. And then most of them expressed this interest that they want to become like that. They don't want to just become something which they have seen until then. And this gave me a really interesting data and thought. I will say that how through sports they traveled, and rather than me asking them to see these career options, it was them themselves who saw other females doing such jobs, and and the girls wanting to become like that. They started asking on how they can become air hostess, how they can become journalist, how they can make videos, because they have seen women doing all these things. And I asked them that, did you discuss this with your parents that you want to do such jobs? And they said that no one cares. Whatever I want to do, no one cares. It has nothing to do with my parents. So yeah, the space which life skills give for discussion, for questioning, for sharing their experience is really amazing, because this is the place where they can talk about education, they can talk about career choices. Especially if you are working with girls, the few things which are very important to work on is their development, on mental development, their physical development, their growth, their hormonal changes. These all are things which are not, if not being taken care in a sensitive way, it can disattract them from, and it can take their focus from their studies. can disturb them, it can make them feel low with the confidence. But once they are aware of these things, it helps them to grow. They know what is happening, they understand what is happening. If someone will could be able to answer, because one day they're not forever going to be teens. Once they are going to be grown up as a woman, and then definitely they are going to be questioned by young girls. And this life skills things make them ready for it. um, Once they talk about career options, it looks like how they want independence and freedom in their life, because that's what they want from like education they are going for from all the hard work they are putting on. Everyone wants to do something somehow in their lives, and this is something which makes they know that how powerful being independent is. And because they see their moms who are dependent on their dads with financial needs, with any other needs, and how it get crushed, because it's not something which is in practice in rural part until now, especially in the areas where we are working. Even if it's the female who is the one who is bringing all the money to the house, the money is in control of someone else. It's not being used by the female who is bringing the money back in the evening. She has to still be dependent, she still has to take permission from husband to use that money. And because these girls have now traveled all around, these girls have seen so many female volunteers, examples in that how they are independent, how they travel alone, how they are doing great things. They definitely want to enjoy this, because this looks fun. Everyone wants to have fun in their life, everyone wants to enjoy the freedom. And this is what they are learning, like how they can live life. So many women who come to UA as an example, we bring them so that they can get inspired by them. They can have live examples which they can see and think about themselves on how they can help on growing themselves. Um, with earlier we were just working on sports and life skills, but later on we realized that how important education is to work on, because those girls with whom we were working earlier were going to the schools around their village where they didn't get quality education. So it was kind of disturbing, because we all were looking forward for their bright future, but at the end we were seeing that it's a sports and life skills, but there is no quality education, which is definitely a very essential tool for anyone, not just a girl child, but anyone to move forward if they have this thought of becoming a character, becoming, choosing a career in their lives. They definitely need to have that knowledge which comes through education. So we started the UA school in 2015, and the result which we saw in like just like, I will not even say a year, it was just like second or third term, which is like maybe 6 7 8 months. It was completely like rocketing. The girls who were not able to read simple sentence of not I'm not talking about English right now, just Hindi, was like so fluent in speaking and so fluent in reading. The most important part was reading, because speaking, we do speak Hindi here, but reading was very difficult. A girl of standard 12 was not able to read a simple Hindi line correctly, which was very shocking for us and the volunteers who are working with girls. And that led us to start a UR school. And then the result we saw was like, I saw that the girls who were not able to read simple lines were reading whole book. They were like taking constant book from library. They were finishing their homework early and still issuing book. They started learning English, and within a year, with right guidance and proper resources, they were able to be fluent with both Hindi and English, like reading and writing. And the all the combination which we figured out was because it was sports which they were playing, which were like keeping them healthy, which were keeping them connected with their friends. It was life skills which was giving them confidence, which was giving them ideas, which was giving them space to discuss their issues. And then the right guidance in school with proper resources helped them to grow like so quickly. The result which was being shown to us from girls was were like really impressive. And as a result, last year when our first batch of graduates uh, took their graduation, it was like 8 girls out of 9 who got placed in really good universities. Two of them are in Spain, one got admitted in Bangladesh, and two of the girls are in Ashoka University, two of them are in Kriya University, and the other girl who didn't get placed last year is applying this year, and we are very sure she is also going to get placed in good university with good scholarships. And this is a very good example to everyone around, not just in rural areas, that if you have right tools, if you have right guidance, you can go anywhere you want. This year, like we have still this placement thing is going on in universities, and we got really big news about Seema, that she was one of the girl when she joined the program, very shy, very weak, wasn't able to run properly, very shy, wasn't able to speak properly, but through sports and through life skills, she gained that strength, she gained that confidence, and she continued because she wanted to, because she was liking it. And she was liking it because the program was designed in a way where it was interactive, where it was giving the space and allowing the space to speak up their mind. You can see maybe the child you are talking to looks physically weak, but from head they have a lot to say, they have a lot to share, and once it's heard, they feel they are acceptable. And once they feel they are acceptable, they like to be with you, they like to be with the program, they like to be with what is being taught. It's not that there is not no schools around, there are, but what makes it difference, the approach, the resources, and the kind of treatment we are giving to a specific child. Our class size is very small. We have kept this very small because we are working with kids who have um, not been in a school where they have really good foundation. So every child here has a different learning capacity, and we cannot put one syllabus, one set of question, or one set of description to everyone in the classroom. So every child needs a different kind of help, different kind of attention, different kind of resources, and different kind of methodology, which if these things are supplied correctly to the correct person, to the right audience, we will see the magical results. For sure, because this is how we are working, this is how we are seeing the results. And the outcome, we were not sure that this will be the outcome, but now what we are seeing is above our imagination. These girls with whom we are working are completely above our imagination. We never, when we started this, we never thought that we will be able to get someone ready to get a full scholarship for 4 years from Harvard. We never thought of this, but this happened. We are looking for more such magics in upcoming years, and definitely we have so many other girls who are getting inspired by the examples being set by our senior students. Um, and sports and life skills is something which is still being provided to the upcoming generation, because these are our basic tools we have used. This is one of the tools that has helped us to understand uh, the whole setup of how, like, the child psychology psychology, I should say, actually, how things work, how they are interrelated, how it's combined. Education definitely has boosted it up, but if we will not have a fun space, we will not be able to bring the girls, because back home there are billion of excuses why they cannot come. But once they are interested, once they are sure, once they will like it, they will make their way to come, because it's a like very common thing in rural India, that if girl is not allowed to go for education, but she's still going, physical abuse is not something which is very nice. It happens. We all hear many stories, we read many stories every day. But these are the things we have seen in real life, where a girl wants to come to school, her brother doesn't want her to come to school, so they will lock them up in the house for 3 4 days without food. Once they are being unlocked, the first thing that girl did was she again came to meet her friends, she again came to play sports, and with her this determination, family gave up, and then they allowed her to do what she was wanting to do with sports, what she was wanting to do with her education. So it's the thing that how you can make a child interested in what result you want to see. So it's very important that things should be informative, things should be fun, things should be interactive, and it should give a safe space where they can feel safe to be, and they can feel confident to talk. There should not be a hesitation. These are very basic things, very small things, but these are, if these things are taken care smartly, these things are taken care very carefully, the results and the outcomes that we see is always going to be like really great, really different, is what I have to say.
So before moving on to any other point, any other question, you mentioned a girl of a student of yours who went to Harvard. So let's see what she has to say upon her experience with Yuva. So
I live in village
Sure.
Dahu. I joined UA in 2012. I went to the government school in my village until I joined UA school in 2015. While growing up, I saw most of the girls drop out of school and get married. I thought I would be one of them one day. But after joining UA school, I was exposed to a lot of new opportunities abroad and in India that opened my eyes and made me realize that I could be independent. Now I have gotten into Harvard University and I am very excited to go to Harvard in the fall and not be one of those girls who are just limited with house chores and agriculture. Thank you.
So this is a really good experience of her. And my first question to you would be, Niharika ji, that we all know that you and Yuva are working in Jharkhand, where girls are at the risk of child marriage
Yes.
and human trafficking. So, what are the challenges which you face or you are face to ensure the education of girl from underprivileged backgrounds?
There are so many challenges that we have faced. First is the trust issue. Um, why someone will trust to send their daughter to a private school where they have no such traditional setup of a school, because we are so obsessed with a traditional setup where there should be a big building, there should be so many facilities, there should be 10 buses running, there should be a fancy lab, there should be big crowd of teachers. And if it's not there, then what's the point? Why I will send my daughter there? Why I cannot send it to any usual school? So this was the one thing, the trust issue. Second thing was, anyway, they didn't wanted girl to go for better education, because at some point they understand that once a girl is educated, they are going to raise voice, they are going to demand, they are going to ask for what they deserve. And this is what society doesn't want to do, because if they will start asking questions, they will be like the men who are going to get affected most. So because then they will be supposed to give equal right, and society which is here in rural area, they never want to see women as someone standing equal to you. They always want them behind, somewhere hidden, obeying you, even if you are not right. The third thing which we faced was the cultural issues which is there, that the girls should not go to a place where their relatives or some male member is not there, because once they are in our program, they get huge travel opportunities all around, and they don't like it. Sometimes the families doesn't like it, especially the male members doesn't like it, because they don't know how it looks like, how what travel can make changes on. Because as I said in my last conversation, that many people, many boys, many girls, many men and women in this village have never been out of this village. They have only seen this setup, they have only seen this life. So for them, imagining letting their daughter go out of this place makes them worried, makes them insecure, makes them feel unsafe, that I don't know what will happen to my daughter. So building the trust with the community, building the trust with the family, building the trust with the girl itself to start the program was the first thing we had to do, because without that we will not ever be able to bring a girl. And letting them imagine, letting them see the future of it, letting them see how it going to bring change in their life was the second thing which we did. And this was one of the toughest task, because around here there are not many examples, but what we did, we brought so many people from different parts, so many people from different areas, so many people from around the cities, like so many women who work here, so that they can see the examples, live examples. And we did this with the parents, we did this with the girls we are working with. And slowly, like home visits were few of our one of the work we were doing to build that trust with the families, and letting them know the motive, the vision of our program, what we want to do. Because we realized that most of the families are not allowing this to happen, because they don't know what is happening. They just saying that there's a school, there's a football program, send your daughter, doesn't work. They want to know everything, they want to know who works there, they want to know with whom my daughter is going to be in this whole time, they want to know what kind of space is that. There are some parents who don't care about all these things, they just care about, if my daughter is going there back home, who will take care of her part of chores. So these were the like challenges we had to go through in the first year of our school. I remember spending 3 hours sitting at one of the family's door and them ignoring me the whole time, like I don't exist, to convince them to get their daughters admitted to school, because those girls were really impressive, those girls were really hardworking, and they wanted to come to school, but it was their family who was not allowing. They were keep saying, we will not be able to afford, although our fees is very minimum, like very minimum. They just pay a very small amount of what we spend on them. But yeah, I cannot ever forget those 3.5 hours of my life sitting at someone's door and not being noticed, being ignored the whole time. But the same family, see the result of me sitting there for 3.5 hours. The same family next year wanted their other daughter to send to this school. And then after on third year they wanted to send another daughter of there to send to this school. And then they started they were keep asking me how they can send their other relatives daughter to this school. So why this happened, like the same family who made me wait for 3.5 hours is now sending daughters to my school. It was because they saw the change, because they saw the result of what that one girl had did. They saw how she was able to read English, and there was like no people around their house or her house who can even read Hindi properly, and she was the one who was reading Hindi and English properly. She was the one who was reading the letters. She was the one who was reading all the notices, whatever was happening, and everyone was so impressed with how she was progressing. So yeah, these were the challenges, and we overcame. There were people in the community who didn't wanted us to grow. They stopped us in a many ways. They by creating disturbance or sending wrong messages to the family, by creating rumors about Yuva, by creating rumors about staffs. Like there were times when staffs have also been attacked. But yeah, but if you are very clear with your motives, if you know what you want to do and how you want to do, I think these things started getting smaller in what you have vision for.
Yes, exactly. When you have patience and you have good motive, then good things comes to you very soon. It doesn't makes you wait for a longer time. In the meanwhile, I would like to ask my viewers to please share your questions, your thoughts in the live chat and the Facebook comment section. Um, Yarika ji, I was reading about you, and as I introduced you in the session, you have done a master's degree in computer sciences. So, what was the motivation
Yes.
behind from working with computers to working with children and educating them? What was the motivation behind that?
Yeah, as a young woman, I wanted to go to corporate. I wanted to work for big IT companies, and I started working, and then I very soon I realized that this is not the life I have worked so hard for. I need to make a change. I need to do something else, but I was not sure what I wanted to do. I left and I came back to Jharkhand, and then I started figuring out. I gave interviews in different places, and then the Yuva girls were practicing in my university because they were getting ready to go to Spain. So I saw them practicing, and then I saw the ad on Google the same day that there is a vacancy. I applied immediately because I was looking for a job. I was not looking for this specific job. And I started meeting these girls, and it was very impressive at the beginning, but I was not sure if I wanted to work with them. But slowly, as I started spending time with them, I realized that somehow, somewhere, these young girls, like I started resembling myself with these young girls, and I saw that how smart they are once they are in a safe space, how cool they are, how questioning they are, and I joined working with these girls. But my initial motive was to work for a few months and then find a better company for myself and move on. But in few months, I realized that I want to stay for a year. Then I realized no, I don't. I want to stay for another year, and then this is my 8th year now. So just like uh, the results which shows after what I do is very instant. I don't have to wait for a longer period of time to see what my work is being done for. Immediately I see girls are asking you, immediately I see they are questioning you, they are sharing with you, they are making changes, they are not doing whatever being said if it's not right. So these things, when like I visualize it, I feel proud of myself, I feel proud of the work I do. And yeah, definitely somehow I feel it's for me it's better than corporate, because at some point of my life I anyway wanted to get back and work for and give back to community. Luckily I got the opportunity very early, but yeah, that's cool. I'm liking it.
Great. UA is building a residential campus, which will be a safe base camp for girls in their journey to discover their self worth and potential. So, what is the need, and what was the basic idea behind building these residential schools for the girls?
This residential school idea came in a figure when we started having girls sharing their experience of violence back home, when girls started sharing their experience of not being able to take out time for their studies, not being able to get a space for them where they can like even live a normal life, especially with girls. They need a little bit of privacy in course of time, especially when they are growing. They need a safe space because back home there's a fight happening every day. There's a drunk family member who is making a scene every day. There is not enough space in the house where they can study and focus. There are girls who are in a great danger of losing their life because what they are doing is not being liked by male members of the family. There have been chances where we had to rescue girls from their homes, from different places, but at the end, we don't find a safe space to where to keep them, because if we will keep them with us, it's going to be like known by everyone, and then the villagers can come and mob you and take the girl. So all these things are the issues, but also we wanted to anyway create an environment where we can give a proper, a full guidance, nourishment, and the environment where they can grow in every aspect, like mentally, physically, intellectually, so that they can come out ready as any privileged kid we see to face the world, to go to the universities, to reach their potential and capabilities, was the idea of residential school. uh, but we have acquired a land for that, but we are not able to develop a campus yet because there is a funding shortage. We need local support there, which is there, but it's like always not very sure. We need support from families. We need to uh, because that's a new place for us, we need to create contacts there. And we were supposed to start it back in 2018, but then because of lack of funding, it got stopped. But we wanted to start it progressively, then this pandemic came, so this thing is still stopped. Now we are scared that this land can be captured by someone else, because there's no activity going on for a few years right now. So yeah, we are kind of worried about the places, the campus we want to build, because every good thing comes with a lot of challenges, and we are making ourselves ready to face those challenges.
We hope that you get to work upon your idea very soon. Shifali Jaiswal has a question. She asks, today, even in metropolitan
Yeah.
cities, girls are not given many opportunities for sports. What could be the possible solution for implementing sports in their daily lives?
Yeah, that's very true that not every girl gets the opportunity to get involved in sports. But we can definitely, we have so much of like learning methodologies right now, which are most of them are online, but there are very creative life skills. There are very creative programs being run by different NGOs who are not full-fledgedly into sports, but still trying to like incorporate some part of sports with education and with see, the thing is that unless and until a child or a family doesn't see benefit on it, because the instant thing what they want to see is benefit, what I'm getting out of it. So the moment you will be able to realize them that this is going to happen, this is going, you will see this is what will be happening once you will do this, it becomes easier for them to get involved. If it's not a sports, then with small educational classes, it should not be like a regular tuition classes. It can be educational classes for anything, which you can see a community or a group of girls, and then decide that what they lack with or what they need or what you can support with, so that they can improve better. Few examples I can give that is maybe we can help them to understand different scholarship opportunities so that they can get interested in studies, because many of them will come up to you and say that I cannot think of higher education because I have financial issues, and they say it because they don't know about how many scholarships and help from government and different organizations are there that they can avail easily, because those scholarships are especially for the girls who are in need, the students who are in need. So this is one example. There are so many life skills trainings, small skills training going on. So small push, it should never be something like really big once at a time. Even a small push, small word of encouragement helps a lot. It makes a big difference. So if there is not a sports, just like spending time is what I will say, spending time with someone, spending time with and giving a positive feedback, making them realize how great they are, what potential you see in them, encourages them like everything. Like, because we started with sports, but that was not the full-fledged thing in the beginning. It wasn't easy because we were not aware of how to play football. Girls were not aware. It was just like a common understanding, and which came out of conversation, and then slowly it developed.
Um, how important is parents' involvement in child education, especially when you have an approach of including sports in education? Like, usually Indian parents say a very famous quote that पढ़ोगे लिखोगे तो बनोगे नवाब और खेलोगे कूदोगे तो बनोगे खराब. So what is your insight on that?
Yeah, it's very common thing, and we have been raised like that only. We're not allowed to be in sports for like with a major part. Like you can play in the evening or do something, but you cannot take it as a full-time thing, because that's the very famous saying in every Indian families. It still is. It has not gone. It still is, and my take on this is completely different, because um, I have seen like live examples where definitely students are very studious without sports. They are very smart, very intelligent, but when it comes to face the real world, they collapse most of the time. But once a person, a student, or a child is in sports, no matter where you will keep them stand, they are same confident. They are very fit. They are ready. They don't take stress. If I will say that if you want to be world ready, you need a combination of it. It's not that only sports can take you anywhere, or it's not that only education can take you everywhere. It needs a combination of it, and when it's get combined, it shows you like beautiful results, like overall development. Education gives you like so much of mental growth, so much of ideas, but you also need to be physically fit. You also need to be emotionally fit, mentally fit, and these all comes with sports. Like it's a perks of sports is what I will say. So definitely, I will not say go with any one thing. Make it a combination. It's a beautiful thing.
So I'm taking up a question from Milita ji. She asks Neha ji how games can transform the lives of girls.
Yeah, game can like it can make you like flip from one side to another. We have so many girls we are working with, and one the first time when you will meet them, you will see a shy personality who is not able to speak to you properly. Very shyly, she might ask you your name. That's all. But once they come every day in sports, they make friends. They be friend with strangers there, because their teammates are not all the time their neighbors. It's like girls from different villages. So they learn how to be friendly with strangers. They learn how to be cooperative. They learn so much of leadership skills. And slowly when you will meet them again, it's not not going to be you asking them question, it's going to be them asking you so many questions. And this is how it changes. I'm keep talking about the physical fitness on sports, but definitely it leads to great leadership skill as a human being. Once you face the real world, once you see the challenges, these are the things that build you up, you grow. Once you are in sports, you have to be disciplined, you have to be a team player, you have to know how to be united, you will have to be how to be selfless. You cannot think of your time. Sometimes maybe it's your time, you can make a goal and you can make a move and you can be a hero, but then you have to give chance to other. And through sports you learn these things very easily. And this definitely helps in real life to make you a better person.
So I will be taking one last question, which Anushri has to ask. That please share your insights on attitudinal barriers of parents and community for promoting life skills through sports. How you deal it, and maybe assume the role of literacy will have a different aspect.
Tanmay, there was some technical error. I wasn't able to hear you clearly. Can you repeat your question, please?
Okay. So am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay. So Anushri is asking that please share your insights on presence of gender discrimination and illiteracy issues in dealing with community people when promoting girls for life skills.
Yes, very good question, Anushri. It's a very unfortunate thing that we are still dealing with it even after working for this great 10 years. We are still working on it, and sad to say that we are not successful enough still to break this barrier of gender discrimination. It still exists, and I'm not sure how long it will exist, but we are definitely working on it. Once you, especially sports is seen as something which is being played by male boys, and not expected, especially in rural areas, that is going to be taken up by girls. So once you are trying to do something unconventional, there are going to be barriers, and gender is one of the very crucial, sensitive thing. Because when you are in sports, you have to dress differently. You have to carry a different attitude. You cannot just be a shy and someone who is not able to talk, because in sports you have to be very open, you have to dress differently, and these things are not acceptable at all in rural communities. And I keep saying rural communities, but it's also in urban communities still. The moment they come up in a sports gear, they are seen and being commented, so that their confidence get down. They feel scared. They don't Their families start getting worried about them, because my daughter is going wearing a shorts around. People in the village are saying bad things about her. I cannot allow my daughter to go to play sports, even if she is coming in salwar kameez. It's the same thing. They cannot see a girl child running around. It's inappropriate. But if boy or a male member in the community is walking just completely fine, doing nothing the whole day. So opportunity wise also, there are so many barriers. Sending boys to good school, giving them good food, treating them in a better way, giving them facilities are very granted thing which have been given to the boys. But for the girls, they have to fight for small things. They have to ask for good food, the food which is being shared by her brother is the same food, but for that she had to fight, she had to ask. If she wants to go to her friend, she had to like make a whole scene, a whole drama, she had to make permissions and everything, and then also she will get like a time frame that this is the time frame you have to come back, otherwise next time you won't be allowed. And same time, if a brother is out for from his house for whole day or 2 3 days, there is no one, no question, no worries to be asked. And if when I do home visits, I usually ask, where is your brother? The very common answer I get is, बाहर गया है. And why बाहर गया है? ऐसे ही, ऐसे ही गया है. So I ask, so do you go out like that? And she, no, only boys are allowed to go like that. Girls are not allowed to go like that. So these are the very small things, but this makes an impact on the girl child who is growing in that setup very deep, that they take it that this is something which is supposed to be happen. This cannot go in a different direction or different way. So um, if I will ask, um, so we have 20% of boys also in your program. If I will ask a boy child to come in a certain time for any event, it's you will see the difference there, that girls mostly are always on time. Boys are not very serious about being on time or showing up every day because they know that they have nothing to lose. They know that they have other things to do in their life. But girls are so focused and they know that nothing else but this is what I'm getting and I have to be focused with this. So yeah, there is gender discrimination in most of the aspects in our life, but with our work, it's like everywhere, I mean everywhere.
Okay, so with this, we come to the end of the session of Detox. Some unanswered questions will be answered shortly in the comment section. And but I would like to tell all my viewers that later this evening, we will be listening to Miss Chandni D, co-founder of Voice of Slums, and followed by Mr. Prateek Kanwal, project director, Ekatrit Educate Girls. To learn more about Global Dreams 30-hour project, FLN approach, log into www.globaldreams.guru, or you can mail us at scaleup@globaldreams.guru, or WhatsApp us on 740-840-6000. With this, I would like to thank Ms. Niharika Baksla for coming on to our session and telling us such wonderful things. And to the audience as well for your lovely support. Thank you and have a nice day.